Today is a very exciting day for everyone involved. I'm being serious. You don't need to take me serious. I mean, you can take me seriously if you want, but I'm going over TENYI today. I know, right? The worm deck that uses effect monsters to do things with non-effect monsters. And it's been giving me quite a little bit of success online, so I thought I'd go over my deck profile and give you guys some insight on how this deck works and how you can win with it. Now, the deck can quite easily dodge Nibiru as well, so that's what I'd like to go into. But first, we'll start off with the meat of the deck. So we are going to be playing 3 copies of Adara. Adara is a level 1 tuner monster, and all of the TENYI main deck monsters carry 2 different effects. They carry the first effect that lets you special summon themselves if you control no effect monsters, and their second effect can activate as long as you control a non-effect monster. Adara lets you banish itself from hand or graveyard to return one of your banished TENYI monsters back to the hand. We're then running the level 4s, so we've got 3 Nahata. I am just going to be, for the rest of this video, just to make up for time, I'm going to be going over their secondary effects. So Nahata, when your non-effect monster battles, you can banish it from hand or graveyard to have the opponent's monster that's battling lose 1500 attack. Shafana is really good. When your non-effect monster is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can banish it from hand or graveyard to, in the same activation, bring the non-effect monster back that was destroyed and destroy a card on your opponent's side of the field. You destroy a monster. My apologies. Then we have 3 of the fire, Mapura. This one, if your opponent targets a non-effect monster you control with a card effect, you can banish Mapura to negate the activation and destroy that card. Now we've got the newest level 7, Ashuna. This one, if you control a non-effect monster, you can summon a TENYI from your deck. This helps you advance your plays, go into more link summons, and just go into synchros and make more plays like that. You can banish it from hand or graveyard this way. And then the one everyone knows of the most is Vishuddha. If you control a non-effect monster, you can banish it from hand or graveyard to return a card on your opponent's field back to the hand. We've now got some supplementing cards. We've got Mare, which can be brought back with Shaman of the TENYI and be used in different ways to go into your synchro plays, as well as your link ones. And it's an incredibly useful piece of utility. And the one Destrudo, and this one is just for you to go into Yazi if you're going second, to bring out the Mare and just do some board destruction things that way. For hand traps and utility, we've got the 2 Ash Blossoms, which you can draw into off of the field spell, and also 2 copies of Nibiru, which is really good going second, as we all know. Now onto the field spell. We're playing 3 Flawless Perfection of the TENYI. This is the card that lets you dodge Nibiru in a way, because as long as this card remains face up on the field, your non-effect monsters are unaffected by monster effects, which means if you're popping off and you go into Berserker on your 5th summon and you have this face up on the field, your opponent won't be able to tribute that Berserker because it's unaffected by monster effects now, which is really good. And if you combo that off with your Draco Berserker Synchro monster, if they try to Nibiru you there and you banish the Nibiru with Draco Berserker, you'll only lose the Berserker and they won't be able to summon the Nibiru or the token, because the effect won't be able to resolve properly. Triple Vessel for the Dragon Cycle. This is a fantastic card. It's a Foolish Burial for worm type monsters, and it gets you a TENYI monster with a different name from the monster sent if you control a non-effect monster, which is crazy good. So you can dump something like Mare, go into Shaman and bring it back, which is fantastic. Free Call by the Grave, because most of the time you want your searching effects to go off and you want to disrupt your opponent that way. Again, apologies for the brightness, the sun is shining today. 2 copies of Twin Twisters. It's a fantastic card. And for one-offs, we got one for one to go into Adara and the Monster Reborn to bring back your worms in the graveyard that you can't use yet. And to cap everything off, we've got our Infernity Barrier-like card, 3 Fists of the Unrivaled TENYI, which can negate effects of cards when you control a non-effect monster, and it could bring a non-effect monster out of your extra deck for free if it's popped, which is really fantastic. Many apologies, guys. I hope that has helped the effect of the glare there. Onto the extra deck, Triple Monk. This is your bread and butter of the deck. You really need this to go forward. Triple Berserker. We're maxing out on the non-effect Tenyis simply because you need them on the board as much as possible, and Berserker is just this huge 3k beater. Double Shaman. This is the card your opponent's going to be looking to disrupt most of the time, but it's not mandatory for you to make your plays. It lets you bring back any worm monster from your graveyard at the cost of a discard, but it locks you into only being able to activate the effects of 10 new monsters that were special summoned from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. So there is that little drawback, as well as the fact that if your non-effect monster battles while you control Shaman of the Tenyi, you can pop a card on your opponent's side of the field. So that's another nice bit of utility there. And 1 Draco Masters. This card can come up a lot if you're looking to clear your opponent's board easily with some non-effect monsters in your graveyard. But you've just got to be careful, because even though Draco Masters can't be destroyed by battle with an effect monster, if you can, it will only be able to activate its effect to destroy things if you control no other effect monsters. And there have been a lot of people recently in recent tournaments that have had multiple effect monsters on board and still trying to resolve Draco Masters. So just look out on that if your opponent's planning to splash it in as a generic link monster against their deck, that this is something they cannot do. The 1 Draco Berserker. I'm really considering bringing this card up to 2 because it's such a good card in the deck. It's a level 8, huge 3000 attack monster that can banish an opponent's monster effect. Banish an opponent's monster when it makes its effect. It can swing over an opponent's monster, gain that monster's attack, and then swing again in a sort of weird Crimson Nova-esque effect. And it's just fantastic. And it synergizes really well with the new Link 4 monster that I'm going to be playing and showcasing to you in a separate video at some point shortly too. Then on to our generic Link monsters you don't see much of. We've got our Nightmare package here. We've got the 1 Avramax, which essentially wins games by itself. And of course the Yazi for your Mare plays. But anyway, guys, this has been the deck profile for Tenyi. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a deck that I'm looking to expand on going into the future. What with the new support card from Rise of the Duelist, I think it is. I can't remember the set name, but anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm looking to hopefully improve my ways of recording things eventually, but in order to do that, funds must be acquired in a swift manner. But that's been me for today, and that's been Al from Exiles, and I'll see you guys in the next video.